Hello everyone, welcome to me tier ranking every single song of 2025, starting from the first day of 2025 until the last day of 2025. That's how it happens. I do this every single year, probably until I die. I might eventually do one where I rank all of the songs that I have ever done ever, which will be this massive 20-hour long video that you guys will have to sit through. This video will be unedited when it goes up onto YouTube. I'm so sorry if there's any moments where I'm just sitting here thinking. You could just skip ahead. But I'm not editing these, so you get my raw, unfiltered thoughts about all of these songs. It's also quite stressful for me doing this because I do know that there's going to be something that I forget to talk about with each song that I will regret later. And there will be things that I have just forgotten in general about some of these songs. But we will be going through them chronologically, and I'm going to give them a rank between S and D. S is like, these are my favorite songs that I've made this year. A are songs that I think are pretty good, but there's something that's holding it back from being my, in that top category. And B is usually actually my category into which these are the songs I don't really like. I don't think, if I made a song that I would consider C tier in this year, I probably wouldn't have released it. So it kind of the question is it going to be an S, A, or B tier song? I probably should spread it out across the tier rankings, but it's just me. I'm this way with a lot of things where I think I'm overly positive about things that I consume, where I will give it too favorable of a rating, especially if I've just, and I don't know, like wrestling matches. I have too many 5-star wrestling matches. I got too many, 10 out of 10 video games and stuff. You know what I mean? Is Otherworldly on this list? That came out last year. Anyway. I did release, I think, a bit less this year because I didn't do the album. Last year I did an album. I think 2026 will be even less so because I want to slow down the process a little bit. And also, I'm not releasing any songs in January. I'm taking a little bit of a break, which means that it essentially means I took a break for Christmas because I have to make songs essentially 2 to 3 weeks before they come out onto YouTube. Let us just begin. The first song, I'll be listening to a little bit of each song as well, so that you guys can enjoy it. The first song is going to be Shadow the Hedgehog. So this is how Shadow the Hedgehog goes for anyone who doesn't remember.
Find me in the shadows, I can light 'em up. Send 'em to the gallows in a ton of run. Got me need an hammer and it's planning up. Red, that's the price of love.
So. I have something to admit about the Sonic movies. I didn't watch the first one, but I did watch the third one. And I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. It was a very fun, very good movie. And because I enjoyed it, I was inspired to make the song about it. But I do feel like this song it's missing something. It's instrumentally, it's fine. I think the hook is not that good. I think that's the main core, and a lot of the time if the hook of the song is not that good, it kind of drags everything down, because the verses are fine, but the verses aren't, incredible. The first verse is decent, the second verse has issues, because there's this one section in the second verse that is actually just bad, which I won't say much of my verses in 2025. I think in general, all my verses 2025 have been good, but there's a section in this bit.
Don't test my patience as a pop quiz.
Alright, that's fine. That pop quiz, because it's bang bang, popping your...
When I'm locked in, shots rim, putting down dolls like it's John Wick.
That's good.
Like the furnace, cause I've been the iron. So define and lock me up, I call the prison island. Pause the movie,
cool.
Cause I'm gonna need a minute silence. I've been ripping them and I'm bragging how it isn't diamond.
I hate that line. Pause the movie, but I'm bragging that it isn't Diamond like Chaos Emeralds, and it doesn't actually make that much sense. It's supposed to be like a Chaos Emeralds thing, and whatever. But the problem is I had an Ita Iron rhyme going on, and I just could not think of a last rhyme for that phrase, and I was already bashing my head against the wall trying to get this song done on time for whatever. And I just came up with quite a weak line, and I was really annoyed. And it's one of those things that I can't listen back to. But yeah, I tried to do something interesting with the drums where I change it up for the... I tried my best, because I knew that when I was making this song, I was like, this is not interesting enough. What can I do? I'll make the drums before the hook be a bit more interesting. I'll do yada yada yada. But unfortunately for me, it didn't hit. And so it's going into that B tier. But the thing is, some people, this might be their favorite song. And that's the thing about music, and especially with my music, and you'll see that a lot this year, is a lot of the songs I produced this year have quite a lot of instrumental variation. It's one of the things that I wanted to strive for this year, because I didn't want all my songs to sound the same, and I thought, like, I've always believed that rap is an instrument, and it's not like necessarily a genre. Like hip-hop is a genre, but rap is an instrument. You can rap over any instrumental, because like you could sing over any instrumental, or you could play guitar over anything, or whatever. So I wanted to like have a variety of different types of beats and instrumentals that I would be able to rap over, which I think is a theme that goes throughout this year. And sometimes that means the songs don't do as well, or people don't like them as much as they would be if the instrumental was a bit more traditional rustage. Irregardless, this song is a B tier. Bang. Let's move on to the second song. I've got them all lined up here. This is a really good example of a song that I really love, but it performed really badly, and I think people don't vibe with it for a particular reason. And it is my Victor rap from Arcane. This one. If you remember it. So I loved Arcane. I actually watched season 1 and season 2 back to back, because I didn't watch season 1 when it came out, which is why I never made any songs about it when it came out. And I remember when Arcane season 1 came out, I think I was like away. And my job is so unique in the fact that things getting popular really quickly stresses me out, which it wouldn't do for anybody else. But especially if, let's say, I'm away from home and I have my like schedule of things I want to make and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden something comes out, everybody loves it, it's super popular, and it would be something I would enjoy as well. But it's like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to make a song about this in time, and to the point where I can't even enjoy watching it, because I'll be watching it with that thought in my mind of, I'm wasting this opportunity to blah, 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 and all of that. Which I know this is like the ultimate first world problem, and it's genuinely not an actual complaint. I'm just saying it's interesting how I'm in that unique position with what I do. And Arcane was a prime example of that, because that came out, everybody loved it, but I just wasn't around to be able to do something about it in the time period I would like to have done something about it. And so I never watched the first season, because thinking about it stressed me out. So I just sort of avoided it. You know what I mean? But then when the second season came around, I was like, yeah, now I can watch it, and now I have an excuse to make music about it if I enjoy it. And I did luckily enjoy it. But my Arcane tracks didn't perform as well. I don't think anyone's like Arcane tracks about season 2 performed as well, because I think a lot of that initial excitement had died down by that point. Another good example is K-pop Demon Hunters. That was a thing that like I think I was in America, I was doing like LARPing stuff. I was like even away from internet in general when that got really popular, and then it just was like, oh. But I think with K-pop Demon Hunters, for me personally, it's a show about music. It's a movie about music, where it feels weird to make a rap. Like, the part of the appeal of my content for people, it's like, oh, this is a thing I really like, and somebody's made a song about the thing that I really like. Like, someone's rapped about Naruto. Somebody's rapped about this character from this thing. With K-pop Demon Hunters, if you want to hear a rap about K-pop Demon Hunters, it's there. It's K-pop Demon Hunters. They rap in the show. So I just didn't think it would like. So that's another good example. Anyway, when I watched, this is a tangent, but when I watched season 2 of Arcane, my favorite character throughout both seasons was Victor, and I was very happy to like hold off on making a Victor track. And this song is a really key example of me making a song based on how I interpret the character. And I feel like I couldn't make any other sort of song about Victor besides this kind of more slow ballady type of track. And Ben Schuler kills the vocals on this. And I do feel like a lot of my lyrics in this are quite like poignant.
When sadness is vacant, fix every part of my body until I'm no longer myself. If suffering gave us a purpose, then why am I evil for wanting to help? Grateful to live in the moment, to see the emotions we felt. Thought we were making it heaven, but damn them to endlessly wander through hell. This is the moment. This is where everything collide.
And the instrumental has this lovely like thing, especially in the final chorus.
this hole.
I just love it. I just absolutely love this song. It's one of my favorites I've done this year, and I think it's my most underrated song now. But it doesn't appeal to people. Obviously, I think most of my fans, what they want is high energy rap songs, which I totally get. It's like a lot of my bigger songs and a lot of my appeal is that like fun, bouncy, high energy rap songs. So it's, I'm not shaming anyone for that. People have different music tastes. But it does, it was a risk putting something like this out there. But for me, this is a sort of underrated S tier song. For me. Anyway, let's move on to the next song, which is Shinobi. So Shinobi's a really interesting song. But it was originally called Shadow Clone, and I changed the title because Xiao had a song called Shadow Clone. I didn't want to be like stepping on his toes there, and I had a different vibe. So Shinobi was, I think I marketed this wrong, titled this wrong a little bit. Shinobi was just supposed to be like my song Super Saiyan that I did with Puro Juice last year, and kind of like Pirate King. It was kind of supposed to be more of an original track with a nerdcore spin. Original, not, if you know what, like Kami or VIP or these songs where it's kind of, it's not a rap about a particular character or really even a rap about the show. It's just a rap about me, but I'm using references for the show, etc. And maybe I should have titled it Rusted Shinobi brackets official lyric video, etc. I really do like this song. It is a little short. I think the hook is a lot more fun than like Shadow the Hedgehog, for example.
Different trophies, they talking with the OG. Shinobi, they do their thing below me. Don't think they know me. I move with ninjas only. Shinobis. They want a piece of the pie every week that I write. I be meeting deadlines. They want to sleep with my eyes, but I eat when I fight. And no need for a red eye, red eyes. Sharon gun, but they still can't guess right. Got the best lines in my DNA. That's my Keki Genkai. Just the way that you move and do what you do. I see your truth.
But I think there was an issue with titling because I titled it, it's not on the screen, but I titled it Naruto Rap because I meant like the show. But because the main character's called Naruto, I think a lot of people thought this was a rap about the character Naruto, which I have already done, I think, like twice. So there was a little bit of a miss because it's not about the character Naruto at all. It's 100% more about the show and about me using metaphors from the show. And it kind of falls in this like weird space now where it's not enough about the character or the show for Naruto fans to enjoy it, and it's not enough about like me that people who are not Naruto fans can really enjoy it. So it had a limited reach, I'd say. I still really enjoy it as a song, and it has the best line ever, which I think is this one.
You're like Shikamaru if Shikamaru was Shikamaru but dumb.
You're like Shikamaru if Shikamaru was Shikamaru but dumb. Which is because Shikamaru has two defining character traits. He's intelligent and he's lazy. So I'm just calling you lazy. It's a good. Anyway, this is going solidly an A, is what I'm going to do with it. All right, next song, Sakamoto Days. So we're moving on into like talking about instrumentals for all of my songs this year, and instrumentally Sakamoto Days was something super fun. I wanted this kind of it's hard for me to describe genres, but to me it's like the trailer music to a roller coaster tycoon game. There's something in my mind that it reminds me of that I was trying to go for. But it's that like Sega menu music kind of vibe. It's this like really fun. It's like a retro vibe but like upbeat retro vibe. And I really enjoy. I read Sakamoto Days, so this was right around the anime was coming out. But I read Sakamoto Days and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. A funny thing about this song. Maguire did not read Sakamoto Days, and you could tell because he has a line in the song about, guess I'm just showing my age, because he thought Sakamoto was old, which he isn't. If you read Sakamoto Days, you know he's actually like 30, or like he's just fat. That's all it is. He's just like, that's all that's happened. He didn't get old. He's only been retired for like a year. He thought he was like 60. So, and I told him that afterwards, and he was like, whatever. I don't even think he's 30. I think he might be in his mid-20s. Anyway, it's a really fun... I heard that I didn't watch the anime adaptation. I heard that they didn't like... The animation wasn't to the level that people wanted it to be, and that might have stopped it from being as strong as it was, but I enjoyed a lot of it. And this song's really fun, and I think Maguire does an incredible job with the hook. Yeah, bro's 27. I think he's Maguire's age. And we did this thing where Maguire would do the backing vocals to my verses because I wanted to have this fun musical thing to it. It is a really good song. It's a really fun song. I think it misses like that little bit extra. I said this a lot in my rankings last year. Misses that little bit extra where it's like one of the best because it's just a solid chorus is good, verses are fun. It's great to listen to. It's great, and that sort of puts it in that high A category. Whilst I feel like Shinobi's like a low A, like that's that solid difference. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, this is another one. So I read the manga of most of the things. I don't watch the anime. And I read so much of Dr. Stone in such a short space of time before I made this. Because I didn't read it when it came out. I remember when they were advertising it at Anime Expo and such, but I didn't read it when it came out. And I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected it to. It was fun because it was just about, the different, like, there are different problems they've got to solve, and how will they solve it using the knowledge base and the resources they have. It's just that resourcefulness going through, and there's a lot of quite political intrigue in certain arcs and such, and I really, really enjoy it. And I got quite far. I think I got to where the anime was in the manga, and that's where I usually do. I'll read up to where the anime is because I know that most people's common knowledge of the show is just where the anime is. So I haven't finished the manga yet. But yeah, I'm up. I made quite a big distance. And I remember reading it when I was out and about. And I made a friend at a cafe. There's just somebody who was working there who came over to me and they were like, "What are you reading?" I was like, "Dr. Stone," and they were a Dr. Stone fan. I say friend. I don't think I've talked to them since then. But I had a nice conversation because I was reading Dr. Stone at a cafe. Anyway, this song's really fun. Nina Hope does an incredible job on the chorus. Shout out Nina Hope. I wanted to do a song with her for a while, and I was really happy to finally get her on something. And this is, again, we continue the theme of instrumentally doing things differently. This is essentially a pop song. This is a pop song with rap vocals over it.
I bring the mass of the tracks of a junction. They got a lapse in the judgment, fueled by the axe of destruction. Hard pull the chrome, and that's bad if you're stubborn. Man, the construction. France are cooked and I'm packing like luncheon. Way that I be chatting like Asagiri the mentalist. Survival of the fittest, but never talk about cleverness. And dealing with the devil, but still I work with the devilish. Refining them like metal, I'm turning peasant to specialist. Need a weapon or needing medicine, I invented it. We endeavored to build a settlement, then I bettered it. Keep the effort, we made the measurements that perfected it. And teach the lesson, it's our intelligence that the messing with standard.
That bit's so good. That bit's so fun. And that flow is really interesting because it only works because the rhymes are so tight there. I really, really like that a lot. There's one thing here where what is it? Is it this bit? Okay, this is they be acting sodium bicarbonate, and then I say salty. I do meant to say they be acting salty. Everybody knows sodium bicarbonate is baking powder, which isn't obviously like rock salt. However, baking powder is still a salt. It's just a type of salt. It's a type of salt, which is like a compound. So it still technically works, but I will put my hands up here and admit, because I did Mark reacted to it, realized that sodium bicarbonate wasn't like table salt, and said, "Oh, he's got that wrong." To which I then DM'd him and said, "Sodium bicarbonate, despite being baking soda, is actually still a salt." And he was like, "Okay, fair enough." Hold up my hands. I forgot what the chemical compound of table salt was, misremembered it as sodium bicarbonate, and put that line in. I did get it wrong. But then after Mark pointed it out in the video, I was like, I've got to salvage this somehow. And so did a bunch of research to try and still justify it as a salt. And so just messaged him and lied to him. I think I admitted it to him later, but to try and cover my own ass. But 100% I just got the line wrong. Anyway. This song's great. It falls in the sort of same category as the Sakamoto Days one, which is a banger, solid track, upbeat fun.
This air that we breathe, right through my lungs and the words that I'm speaking.
Why haven't I done this live? Nina's been at like a whole bunch of my live shows. Why haven't I just said we should do this one live? It would go well live. Anyway, this one is also it's going to be in that same sort of bracket as Sakamoto Days. All right, let's move on. Grimmjow. Grimmjow is one of these characters which is like, it's sort of odd to make a song about Grimmjow in 2025, you know? It feels like that kind of, when a lot of us were doing nerdcore to begin with, we were making songs about every anime that we were into and characters from all these animes that we were into. We had Bleach and Naruto and One Piece, etc. Because there was not a lot of it around, right? And now it feels like every character from those, you know, for the big three has a song about it. So it's not as special. However, Grimmjow was a character people really, really wanted me to make a song about. And so it's like, this one's for the fans. I didn't even think it was going to be like that popular. I just knew that people, like the diehard Rustage fans, have wanted this for a while, so I decided to make it. And I want to do it Dizzy 8. I've been a big fan of having Dizzy 8 on hooks because I think he does a really good vibe for this kind of song. This song is a little bit like my Batman track I did with him a couple of years back. It's very fun. There's a couple of problems I have with it, though. I think... Okay, so instrumentally, this is like my Beerus track, or it's like this kind of grime style that I wanted to go for. That were, you know, it's more standard that people knew from me.
Get the sticks out, sit down. Shots from God, I ain't talking Beerus when I step and make him feel Grimmjow. I don't play on no videos, hard to say that they didn't know. It's on site, dominating the physio. I'm the ray like Mysterio, 619.
Speaking of 619, speaking of this, there's been a trend I've done recently over the course of the last 2 years of my music, where I have tried to sneak in a couple of like professional wrestling related bars into songs just randomly. And you'll notice that in a few. I have that, for example, I'm the Rey like Mysterio 619. This works really well because Rey is king in Spanish, Rey Mysterio, etc. And he a lot of his moves at Grimmjow is related to being the king, etc. And so I felt like I had to do that. It also dominated, because Dominic Mysterio dominated the physio. I'm the Rey like Mysterio 619. It's referencing both him and his son. But I think there's a song that I did where I reference Lost Your Edge, Now It's Judgment Day, with like the Edge, the group Judgment Day from WWE. Even in this one, in the Vigilantes, I say they're not on my page. Don't want a Hangman, like Hangman Adam Page from AEW. I have a lot of hidden wrestling bars in a bunch of my songs. So if you could spot them. If you could spot them. Is it from the Igris Raps or is this year? So this year has a lot of them. Even in Shinobi, I say not McIntyred. That I don't see him like Punk. So we got a whole bunch. We got a whole bunch. Because listen, this has been the year of wrestling for me. Sorry for this side tangent, but not only am I big into watching WWE and AEW and New Japan. I've gone to Japan and I've seen New Japan Pro Wrestling live. There's a huge independent wrestling scene in England that Revolution Pro Wrestling, Progress Pro Wrestling, Hustle, and Riot Cabaret. I've been to all of those shows. I've just been like, I don't know, I've sunk my teeth into it. And I don't know why, I love it so much. I love it so much. I would say go check out see if there's an independent wrestling show near you, because those are like the most fun you can have live. They're awesome. And maybe I'll make a rap about wrestling. I don't know. It feels an odd space, but maybe that's what I gotta do. But yeah, anyway, back to fucking Grimjow. Grimjow's a great character. He's cog editor. He's fun. I don't know.
Reaper, he's not him. They're like, Jobs, where have you been? I've been inside of that den. I'm in your block now, I'm ready to spin. I've never been one to run from a fight. If you got a problem with me, it's on sight. If you got the crown and I'm on ice, I got no love for your side. I never learned to play nice. You gotta eat.
Yeah, bow down when I walk.
Okay, so his hook comes in 3 parts here. And I'm not that big of a fan, like listening back to it now, of this like initial first hook part. The King Me thing's fine as well. And then I did these backing vocals. Eerie did. I had Nora and Eerie do backing vocals on this, and I think when they sing the King Me bit here. I think that's awesome. I love the way that they back up the King Me. But Eerie has some extra vocals here that I was like 50-50 on. And this is purely like a personal taste thing. And I don't think they actually work, which is not Eerie at all. This is just like in terms of like the composition of the thing. Yeah, I missed it now. The from a fight. I actually just feel like it's too light to be in like the build up to the track, if that makes sense. Which is, it's not on Eerie at all. I think anything there, it's literally anything there wouldn't have worked, I think. So it's just and I think I specifically requested for that as well, so it's 100% my fault. But it's like there's little details like that stop me from 100% enjoying this song. And I also don't think I think my verses are fine.
I'm better. Sonic waves that mess with my tempers. I go leading Def, they left.
Def Leppard, because that's like, well, yeah, whatever. There's Grimjow's reference.
Into your domes. You don't want to battle me alone. Watch the way I'm blowing up the globe. No region safe. Watch it please.
I do try to do some interesting flow stuff. I don't know. I think, I'm gonna do this actually. Wow. Brave, I have put something into the C tier. I'm gonna put Grimjow and Shinobi into B tier. And move Shadow the Hedgehog down to C. Right? We're going crazy here. Yeah. Alright. Rap battle. Okay. It's hard to write a rap battle. Because it's not really a song. Rap battles aren't really songs. They're just kind of videos. So you can't rank it. Like, I don't think I'm gonna rank. I never rank these. But I will talk about this. It's the first time I've done a rap battle in a while because people have been suggesting wanting one back, and it was a lot of fun to do it. But they are like the hardest fucking things to write ever, because you've got to be clever. You've got to really know what to diss about the person, and yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. And I think after I did this, it's why I haven't done another one since, because I didn't enjoy the process of doing this one as much as I thought I would, because it was just difficult. It was just difficult to write good, like, rap battle lyrics about it. But I think it's good, and obviously 954 Mori did an incredible job here.
Even my mythos more famous than yours, as you ain't for no one is bigger than me.
And, we got Biscuit back. Skeeps Heel. For the video, and they did a great job. So I can't rank this one, sorry gang. But I was really happy with the "nah, I'd win" line. I was really proud of that. And then Sakuna Matata. There were some really silly lines that I put in here that I remember running by Connor and Mark when we were on our little road trip earlier last year. But yeah, that's not rankable, so I stopped being ranked. Igris! Alright, I'm going to come clean about something. I don't like solo leveling. I don't like it. I watched the whole first season and second season now. And I don't like it. I'm so sorry, gang. I understand its appeal. I understand its appeal completely. But for me, I need something more than just everybody thinks he's weak and then he surprises them because he's stronger than they're expecting, sort of over and over and over again. I will say this, it's a really easy watch and it's entertaining. Like, thank God the animation's good and it's like fun to watch. But you kind of get tired of that being the plot over and over again. But like, that's not me saying it's bad. I think it 100% does exactly what it needs to do, and I wouldn't change it. It's just not for me. But that concept means it's quite easy to write music about. And it's like, contrast it to another anime that came around the same time, like Frieren, which is so much more what I love. And I think on my last ranking stream, I went on a whole tangent about Frieren touching on kind of the inevitability of life and all of these different ways that people deal with time. And it's this really interesting story with quite compelling characters, and the animation's good and it has those cool moments. Well, Solo Leveling is not that, unfortunately. It's a turn-off brain show, which has its place. And I watch professional wrestling, so I will never there are things that are great for those turn-off brain moments that you don't have to engage too deeply with. So it's great. It's great. But the problem I was having with Solo Leveling was I made a song about Sung Jin-Woo already. And people kept it's still this incredibly popular thing. People wanted me to make songs about Solo Leveling. But it's like, well, this show really has one character that anybody cares about. Name me another character from Solo Leveling that people care about enough that would want a song about them. And I couldn't, there are other characters, but they're not really, they have nothing. The cooler characters get built up just so that Sung Jin-Woo can be better than them. But. Then I realized that he has all of these, goons, these shadow monarchs, these guys that he fights with him that are way more developed characters than any of the actual characters in the show, because they're there all the time with him doing stuff, and they're cool. They got cool designs, and they a lot of them are like the big boss. Like, he's the end of season 1 is him fighting Igris. So it's the big boss of season 1 then becomes his guy, and then I was like, I'll make a song about this, and Igris was my experiment to see if that would work. And it did really well. People enjoyed it. And that's why I did Beru later in the year. I got JHB Boss in it. Shout out JHB Boss. He's awesome.
Our souls arise, skip a man to the toe to die. Draw your sword cause I'm holding mine. We gon' do this like golden times. Know the odds, we still roll the dice. Roll like girls cause I'm cold as ice. Make them pierce them like golden eye. You will see how these soldiers ride. Distorting, I've been caught in that Kim talking cause I'm in the eye.
I also think a lot of these songs do ride or die on their production. And I produce 90% of the songs this year I produce. I think it's really just the ciphers I didn't do and the Superman track. And I was very proud of the production on this. It has that eerie kind of vibe, but is more high energy. And I think my problem with the Grimmjow track is, and Shadow, was I think my production on those weren't as good.
Call the sergeant, creep with a so-called aura farming. More alarming, gaps are big.
But then also JHP Boss, this is awesome.
Be my guest, way that I move with a lethal edge. Season vet, they're in a dude that'll keep in check. In my path of vision, then I'll leave them dead. OG told me get them, then it's off their heads. Easy test, they wanna fight, but it's in my best. In the shadow, that's where all the monarchs live. Then a step in my.
I do like doing this thing where I go back and forth, rapping and singing with a, they're singing, I'm rapping, this back and forth. It's a lot of fun. I like this song a lot. I think this is also a solid A song as well. It's in this group. I think the other song I did about Solo Leveling is better. Spoilers, because that will be coming up soon. All right. Let's go Vigilantes. So Vigilantes was designed to be a live song, and actually a lot of these trio tracks are designed to be live songs now, because me, Mark, and Connor often perform together, and we want to have more songs to perform. Like the Zeus track was designed to be a live song, and this too. Anora has now replaced Conquest in the UK trio. Sorry, gang, we have killed Conquest, and he's no longer here. Anora VT is the new member of the UK trio. But we have performed this one live. We performed this one live both in London when Anora was visiting, and then also at NPC. So we have done this one. So it's a lot of fun. And it does do really, really well live. And for these trio tracks, as always, I write the choruses just completely. And I was really proud of how the chorus kind of came together with the... Having this, the singing chorus complementing the rapping vocals... And I'm even saying this is, I think, the first UK trio track into which I'm singing as well. It's the combination of all three of our vocals there that have this fun thing. And I like the counter melodies there. This is a great song. And I think everyone has a really good verse on it. And that's the thing, right? The thing about Shwabadi, Anora, and Connor Quest, and the reason why they pop up on most of my ciphers and stuff, is that I can always guarantee they're always going to give me a good verse. Like, no matter what, it will be a good verse. And it's that, like, consistency, which is great. That consistency is incredible. And it's stressful to do ciphers sometimes because you're thinking, well, this is a song with 9 rappers on it. And if all their verses aren't that good, the cipher's not going to be that good. But knowing that at least 3 of the verses will be good because it's Shwabadi, Connor Quest, and Anora means that it makes me less stressed when I'm doing projects like this. And they did a great job here, and the song's great. But it is 100% like this is for live performance in a way that I feel like if I was a Rustage fan, I wouldn't listen to this song as much as other songs. If that makes sense. It's an A-tier song. It's also an A-tier song. It goes in there. All right. Are you ready for my controversial one? This song, Conquest Rap, it did really well for me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's... I don't like it at all. And it's instrumental. It's an instrumental thing. I was trying to go... I really experimented with the instrumental here. I wanted to go for... No, listen. If you like this type of song, then it's great. This is one of those songs where I'm like, it really showcases the limitations of my voice as a rapper. If this was maybe the exact same song, but it was like fucking DPS rapping it, or like anybody else, I think it would sound infinitely better. Like, it's the exact same lyrics and flow, but it's somebody else rapping it. I think it would go down a lot better. But I just don't think my voice can carry with this kind of beat. I really also wanted to do this like quite industrial, hard, bah, bah, in your face kind of beat that I don't know if I achieved as well as I wanted to.
I am not a challenge you can rise. Why would I respect them if they dies? Maybe you're forgetting the position.
But I wanted to have that like element of orchestral music in it as well, that like is blended in.
The road that you can find. I've been writing history, you learn the things that I do. Killing is a passion that I find. There are never doubts on whether I do. It's William, my conqueror, it's written in my tribunes. Hear the clock tick, tick, ticking, it's about to be your time soon. Cause I'll be dribbling bodies without the baskets. We may be colleagues, but...
And I remember struggling with the lyrics so hard. I don't think any of these lyrics are particularly clever. Like, they're all right. But I don't think I have a couple of good lines, but there's so many songs this year where my flows and my lyrics are so much. Oh, this bit's good, actually. Hold up.
They call me horrid, don't get me started. Marking the dotted, cause like a blast of atomic. Look at the carnage, the comet, guess I'm an artist. Shooting like a star on my comments, so watch them charting the losses. See every part of demolished back into darkness.
That bit's really good. But that's kind of the only... I was really proud of that bit, but I also think that's the only good bit, verse-wise. Did I even do it?
Making is an impact frame. Say that you be cooking, but it's in bad taste. That reduce you to a costume and a shit catchphrase. Never really living if you live that
It's the sort of song that I just would never listen to as well. The chorus is good. Like, I think Issa does it. This is a chorus I wrote. So if you see Issa on a song, it's a chorus I wrote. It's like the Freyrin one. I mean, and maybe one day I'll get her on something where she writes the hook. But this was a chorus I wrote. I think overall it makes there's a thing about this song where it feels like it never kind of keeps stopping and starting rhythm wise, where it never really gets going. And I know that's sort of the point, but I don't know, it's just... Like, this is cool. And this is cool. This is cool. And... But it doesn't... basically, for me, for this song, is it did not impact the way that I wanted it to. I had this big... I did the hook first, right? I did this... And this sometimes happens. And I think a lot of my songs that I'm not as happy with is that I will make this really cool hook section that I think is really fun. And then the verses will suffer because I never really planned what the verses would be like. And it's hard to, like, shove them into the song. There's a good example of that. I did this, like, instrumental build into this drop, instrumentally incredible. And then I wrote this thing. There's my version of it. It was obviously not as good as Issa's version of it. I don't know if my vocals worked over this drop, really. Maybe I should have left it instrumental, but then I don't know. There's a lot of issues I have with this song, and I'm really happy people like it. But it was one of those ones that I felt a little bit embarrassed of my performance specifically going out there. Another key thing to write is you can tell the chorus is written by me because I rhyme supernova with over, which rhyme in my accent because I don't pronounce the R's of words because I'm British. But Issa's not British. So she does pronounce the R and it doesn't rhyme anymore. She says Nova and then over. I can't do it, but like they don't rhyme anymore when she does it. And so I don't think it matters that much, but I noticed it. Yeah, Maguire. Did Maguire do backings? Yeah. And Maguire does a great job. But yeah, this is 100% on me. This is a B1 for me. I'll put it there. I'll put it there. Okay, gang. I'm sorry, that was my controversial opinion. I knew people wouldn't like that. If you love that song, thank you so much. Thank you so much, because I do appreciate, like, and again, it's 100% a taste thing. I am ranking these songs based on, like, let's say I was a Rustage fan and I was listening to these, which ones I would enjoy the most. Like, I don't think I would have Conquest in my playlist, but any song A and above would be in my playlist 100%. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to Bow Down. So this song, I love this song. When this came out, it was one of my favorite songs I'd made in a while. I think Thrizzy, I don't think I'd worked with him before this point, and he did an incredible job.
The sound that my buzz makes, system broke with no updates.
This instrumental fucking bangs, and my verse over this first bit bangs too, like.
Get the sound that my buzz makes, system broke with no updates. You ain't more than a blood stain, they gon' take a look how this bug spray ain't no greater good and no lunch break. So I came to cook the whole buffet, turn the neighborhood to a runway, done in 10 seconds to the death on front page. So unnerving, move like Zerkers, do my work and I've swarmed them solo. Taught like vermin, get to purge, body murdered, I've screamed like Godo.
This is such a cool flow. It's going crazy.
Wild breath like a Miyamoto. Understanding no kills and certain they want a death, now they feeling FOMO. You don't want to battle with an insect. Step to the ends of this colony. Ay, fade him into nothing like a vignette. Ripping a nap.
Fade him into nothing like a vignette. It's so cool.
Eliminators take him in an index. Right at the back of the glossary. Ay, steps to the cream, but they lack the authority. Watching you stand on my property.
That whole first verse just flows really well start to finish. It's got a cool flow to it. I like the lines of it really good. Works well with the instrumental. It builds up well, and then... This is a situation as well where Thrizzy sent me the hook and he said, I don't think this has ever happened to me before, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was like, oh, I've written this bit for you. I was like, for me? And so that bit where I go, bow down, he was like, he wanted me to do that. He was like, you should say bow down here. And I was like, whoa, wow, okay, boss. I then did change the third one to say, make them bow down, to add that variation there because I think it flowed better, but yeah. It's great. It's great. It's great. Good song. This is an S-tier song, and so far my favorite from everything we've looked at. All right. Next up, it's the best cypher of all time ever that anyone's ever made ever. And I'm not debating that. It's the best cypher of all time. It's my best cypher of all time. It's the best cypher anyone's ever made. Find me a cypher better than this one. You cannot. This is a prime example of a song that I have always wanted to make, and 100% a passion project for me, and I'm so glad it did so well. I never expected it to. Never expected to do well at all. And I think next year I'm going to do a lot more things that are just based on my own personal like preferences and such, because I think a bunch of the songs I did just based on things that I enjoyed this year did well. Firstly, Freshie. When I started this, so this project has been in the works since, like, the idea started, I know for a fact, whenever, like, a TwitchCon was in Las Vegas. Like, was that, like, 2024 TwitchCon? Something like that? Because I was at Medieval Times with Stupendium, and I remember asking the Stupendium if they wanted to be a part of this cypher I was put together, which was Leaders of History. And originally, they weren't going to be Charlemagne. They were actually going to be Rasputin. Not Rasputin. Yeah, Peter III. They were going to be a Russian rep, but I actually really wanted to... I decided to do one rep for each kind of country, obviously, and I really wanted Catherine the Great in there, because I'm a big Catherine the Great fan, so I ended up shifting some things around. So this cypher, obviously, there's going to be... I knew when I was making this, but people will be disappointed that certain historical figures weren't there. That's going to be an inevitable thing. There are some big historical figures that are not going to be in this cypher because there's so many leaders of history. I tried to include a bunch of the greats as possible from different regions of the world. I wanted to include lots of things from different regions of the world, but I missed out on, like, I didn't have a Polynesian, king, or, I didn't have, there was some areas that had less than, once I had done certain ones from, like, Europe in certain regions, that it felt like I didn't do Frederick the Great because I already had, like, a lot from that kind of region. Catherine the Great and Frederick the Great, like, knew each other. Like, this, the other thing I wanted to do with this track is get as many people from, like, at least regions similar to their historical basis. So I wanted to have a variety of language in here as well. Like, I knew that Tomomak Kyo, who I've done lots of songs with, was Japanese and could represent, a Japanese leader like Tokugawa, the start of the Tokugawa dynasty, one of the most iconic shoguns. There's a few people who are like, why isn't this this figure in here? And they're, like, not historic leaders, and which is sometimes frustrating. It'd just be like a famous general or something that was never a leader. But no, this is incredible. And there were a few people that, like, dropped out last minute. It was stressful to put together. It's always stressful to put together. So firstly, when I was making the beat for this, I just could not make a good beat. I struggled so hard with making something. And I feel like my production prowess lies into making, like, a 2 to 3 minute song, having this kind of vibe to it. Like I'm quite good at making and producing songs, but cypher instrumentals I've never been that good at. If you listen to a lot of my older cyphers, a lot of them suffer because of the instrumental. I think whenever there's been a good one, it's kind of been our luck. But Freshie Canal is the king of doing this kind of instrumental, where the whole point is it's just for rapping. You're not doing a chorus over this kind of instrumental. It's just for a rap verse that can flow and change throughout the thing, and he's incredible. It is mixed by me, so I mix all the vocals. Fuck me, mixing is difficult, especially with this many vocals and so many different, like, levels and corning equipment. And he sent me the stems, so I mixed the instrumental as well, to an extent. But it was difficult because it was a headache to put together. What I did initially was I put together a list of historical figures I wanted in the cypher, and some people I would ask specifically, like I asked Tomomak Kyo to be Tokugawa, and I did say unless there's a figure that you think is more important, but he agreed that Tokugawa. Shout out. And there was some like that. Like I asked Lex Bratcher to be Catherine the Great because I thought she'd kill it as Catherine the Great. But there were some people I would approach and I would be like, can you do someone from this list? I remember having a little discussion with Louverture because I really wanted Louverture to do Napoleon because he speaks French. He's also an incredible rapper, and Napoleon's like a big historical figure that I think people would obviously has to be in this. But Louverture is named after Louverture, the real life historical figure, and it was quite an awkward conversation because he just wanted to be Louverture, which I was like, I get that, but unfortunately, I had a threshold, and Louverture just didn't make the cut, and I really needed a good Napoleon. So I was like, you have to, can you just please plead Napoleon? I'm so sorry. I know this other historical figure has so much more, relevance to you, and you care about him so much more. But I genuinely felt really bad about that. But maybe on the next, if I do a historical Leaders of History Cypher 2, which is not unlikely because there is a whole bunch that we haven't covered. I did Julius Caesar because I wanted to do a rap about Julius Caesar anyway. I was planning on just doing a Julius Caesar rap before I extrapolated it out into this. I think my Julius Caesar rap on this cipher is not only the best cipher verse I've ever done, but maybe the best verse, one of the best verses I've ever done just as a verse. Especially like the way that it builds up. It has so many good references to stuff. Like the Vercingetorix. like the Bello commentary. Like his records that he writes down, never did it easy. I've been coming into battle like his Veda Vigibello on the commentary. I got records written, like the flow there's really good. I got a really tight rhyme scheme. I'm referencing so many good things. It hits all my 4 pillars of rap, like perfectly. Like Caesarean section, C section, like Caesar. Great. And it was great to so many people on this cipher that I've always wanted to work with, but they weren't into like Little Flex doesn't watch anime, so I've never been able to get him on an anime thing, but I was able to get him on this, and I was very happy about that because he's an incredible rapper. And I wanted people from history. I sort of tangented from countries like, Anora could speak Korean. I wanted her to be able to do Queen Sondok. Shout out Queen Sondok of the Shilla Kingdom, and she was really able to pull from that and use that in this song. A lot of people did a lot of research for their verses if they didn't know the characters. It's so funny, Anora. I literally just said your name and you raided the stream. That is hilarious. But yeah, shout out Anora. She just raided the stream. She did incredible verses as Sondok. Here's an interesting thing. I was originally going to get Contrast on as Qing Shui Huang. I can't pronounce the names for China, but he had to back out last minute. And luckily, Hala CG filled in amazingly to do Wu Zaitan here. Genghis Khan, Conquest. We had this whole... Mark specifically requested to do Alfred the Great because it's his favorite English monarch. And, I obliged. But it's also why... Because I only wanted one monarch from sort of each area. It's why... Elizabeth I or Henry VIII or Queen Victoria, who are also quite iconic British monarchs, were not in the cipher. And I think if I did another one, they would be. Maybe I would do like Henry VIII in the next one. Dan Bull almost didn't do the cipher, but then he revealed that his hyperfixation had been collecting, like Norwegian coins and Norwegian kings. And so he was super into Harold Bluetooth. I was very happy that he did that. Charlemagne, great. We got a verse in Hindi, which is incredible. Shout out Dix. There's a couple of things that I want to mention about this track. So there's the big Maguire controversy, which is Maguire didn't realize he was doing a verse. He thought he was doing a hook. I argue that's an excuse for not doing research, because to me it doesn't even really sound like a hook. It does sound like a verse, like a singing verse. But maybe that's just because the instrumental is not conducive for hooks. So his Solomon the Magnificent verse, he doesn't actually talk a lot about Solomon the Magnificent. This kind of does apply to any leader. He just talks about having a big empire. and lots of money, which they all kind of do. But importantly, it upset a lot of people because in his Solomon the Magnificent verse, somebody who is famously Muslim, he says the line, "I'm a god," which somebody who is famously Muslim would not do historically, right? Even though, it's like a rap song, it's not that deep. But a lot of people got quite upset, to the point where some people have requested I take the entire video down, and it's all Maguire's fault. And we make fun of Maguire a lot for it, because he's accidentally caused a big controversy, and he will take all the flack for that. The other big controversy of this song is the Keyblade situation, which was my fault completely. I think Keyblade didn't send me a reference for his verse, and usually that's fine because it's quite you line it up with like the thing that you sent them. It's quite easy to time their verses. So many people on this track. I put his verse in and it sounded great to me. His song. But I apparently had mixed his entire verse a beat to the right, and his like first line, his des coupe, this line was supposed to be going over the top of the previous verse. He didn't know what the previous verse sounded like, obviously, but because it means like shut up, like, or stop talking or whatever. And it was supposed to cut in and shut up the last person, but I didn't realize that because I didn't know what it meant. So I just, it ended up being the first line of his thing. And the thing is, he obviously got quite upset, which is so fair. Like, if somebody mixed my whole thing, and it has happened before, in the Spider-Verse cypher on JT Music's channel, my verse is mixed off beat. So he got quite upset, and then requested me to take down the entire video and like redo it and put it up. But unfortunately, at that point, it had already been out for quite a few days and had picked up quite a lot. He was doing really well, view-wise, all of this stuff. And I and everybody else thought it sounded good. Because the flow's really good. It goes, but like the way that it flows on the beat like that is awesome. It's still one of my favorite verses. But what I did do was I fixed it for Spotify. And unfortunately, I was away from home, so I didn't have the original track on me. So Freshie Canal had to step in and completely change that section to fix it on Spotify. Let me fix the camera. So if you listen to the Spotify version, it is what it's supposed to sound like. Now, artist intention and everything, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I think it sounds better on the offbeat. I think the version of the video sounds better because it has more of a fun, like flow to it. Where I feel like when it's on the on-beat, like his original intention, it's too stilted. But you guys can make your own opinion of it. And so that means there are two versions. There is the YouTube version and the Spotify version, and they have slightly different sounding Philip II verses. So yeah, on all streaming services, it will be fixed. Same with there's a Shaudo ad-lib that's in the Spotify version that is in the YouTube version that I forgot to include. Just genuinely hundreds and hundreds of files, right? This is like 20 rappers, and they all are like 5, 6, 7 vocal files each. Like, it's a lot. But yes. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this thing. I think the George Washington verse by Dripstick is the best way to finish off this cipher. He understood the assignment completely. He does an incredible verse. It's great. It's great. Bottom to top, it's the greatest cipher of all time, and nothing will ever top it. I think even if we did a Leaders of History Part 2, I just don't think it's not gonna have that same magic. It'll just be another good song. But yeah, S tier. God, that was a lot of talking about that one song. Oh, we're an hour in. I was trying to make these shorter. Oh, sorry, that's Hank Green. I was watching. I was watching Hank Green. Before the stream, I forgot I still had that on there. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is Atomic. Now, this song is good. The anime... Okay. The Eminence and Shadow. Every time that I have ever done a voting stream, it always comes up. People always go, oh, you should do Sid from Eminence and Shadow. And I put it in, and it always loses the first round. So I'm like, oh, this is a vocal minority. But it is one of the most popular comments people would say, do a song about this, do a song about this. And I was like, fine. Again, similar to Grimjow, I want to, you guys request something a lot. I want to make you happy. I'll make a song about it. But I didn't think it was going to do that well, because I was like, I knew from the polls, I thought it was a vocal minority, but I hadn't done an anime song in a while at this point, I think. And I was like, I got to put something together. And I watched the anime, and it's an interesting anime. Sort of the concept is the main character is he's doing this fantasy role play where he wants to pretend to be this evil Dark Lord, and he thinks all of his friends are going along with it, but it is actually happening, and he doesn't realize that everything is real. He's in this kind of, and so that's where a lot of the humor comes from. Like he was just like, oh, they're so nice that they're playing along with me, but he's actually, and so that's fun, and he's actually incredibly powerful, and he doesn't realize it, and that's where the comedy comes in. It's like a comedy in that bit, and it's decent. I think in that, that angle is fun. I don't think it's entirely for me, but it does mean that like the writing a song about it was super fun, getting all those references in, and this is another situation where I think the instrumental is really good. I think it was also the first time I worked with Suyo, who's on this track, and he did an incredible job here.
Stay set and I'm in place. Play best when I'm dressed with no big names. Say less, got the rest of them in lane. Fed into the back of the press with a clickbait. John talk what the Smiths say. Mitsukoshi got the gold and the fits paid. I've been getting into roles, ain't no king shame. Welcome to the god of moonlight shadows, now we're in play. Monday man, but I move like the master. Playing up the scene like the Moonlight Sonata.
Oh yeah, I was really a fan of like how the drums move throughout this track.
What I wore at the past, I hit the blast with the kid because I bring a nuclear disaster. You stood the drama, they be looking mid-car, but I think fast when I shoot on the fathers. Ass like they wanna root Oriana. I turn a wedding to funeral parlors. Such a reality, making money like Gamma, we running. I feel like Alpha, I'm at the top of the pack of me. Have a beat with the shadows behind DC's living fantasies. Talking like the Aurora, that cannot handle calamity. Happy done with normality, mixing martial and magic. These idiots think we're serious, but they know it's imaginary. I don't care for the casualties, building up my menagerie. Beta be taking those so they hang it up in the gallery.
I love that. I obviously like fast, but it works really well with the instrumental. I have the brown brass. I have the kind of funky-esque drums. It has this like interesting flow to it that leads into the hook, and I think the hook's cool.
The best part
I think that's so fun. And then obviously in the second chorus I do like a back and forth.
I dropped that shit bombard. You put the game and then made you a target.
This song's awesome. It's also S tier. It's right up there. It's one of the best songs I made, next to Bow Down. I was like on a tear. I was on a tear at this point of the year. I was just putting out bangers. I was going crazy with it. And I was glad that people enjoyed it. All right, next song. This song, I think this is the second song I would call underrated of the year. God, I was so proud of this song. I think this song's awesome. It also hits that. So one of my most popular songs of last year was my Alisa track with Maguire. And I feel like this song is so similar to that in terms of like everything that it does correctly.
Welcome to the game, and to the start of the same ones. I ain't gonna listen to complaining because I'm asking the questions so you can write a review.
I love the instrumental of this firstly. It's that same kind of, it's like Sakamoto Days.
Suggestions because I'll be using all the space when I got stars for contestant plenty of the loss and attention, the market respect that we seek. We master the engines, they hard it on X and
the video is great. Haruka did an incredible job here. Like, it's so good.
Retweet artist impression of Marvel effects on the green screen. The harder you press, the more chances to get in on TV. Leave them teleshopping on the channel they're choosing. They challenge my viewing to look at how this family feuding. That's how them edited and posing on some classical music and coding the feet so they cannot get the radical views. And there's panic and chewing, the malice is brewing. It's double jeopardy to pick another category group, and the camera is looming. And listen to the audience can handle the booing. I put the misery and pluses for the ass that consuming.
I really like the lyrics here. I like the flow of it. I like all of it. Like, and then obviously I think Maguire does a great job of the hook too.
Strike the lights and we get to score.
Hey, lights, come on, rolling, know we live. Prime time, cut the footage and the highlights. Caution, put them on the mic. random man on the show reel.
I really like it. I like this song a lot. And he does. And this is an S tier song for me. I think this is like a quiet S tier for me because I really think this song's awesome. Yes, The Man Be His Last song is better. I'm not denying that. He made a better tenor song. His song is fucking mental and incredible. But this song is still really, really good. And I don't think it got the love that it deserved. But I also don't think, like, I don't have a Deltarune audience. Like, I don't know really what I was expecting. Like, this is not, my fans aren't, they're just not Deltarune fans. So, like, I think if it was the exact same song, maybe with somebody else's audience base, it'd do better. But yeah. This was a lot of fun. I really loved this song. It's a great song. Not much more to say. Superman! So this one's produced by Longest Solo Ever because I don't know how to do, like, rock stuff. And, oh my god, I love the Superman movie. Like, the new Superman movie is great. Like, the new Superman movie made me read comic books because I was not a comic book reader. And then I watched the new Superman movie and everyone's saying this is, like, the best representation of Superman in the comics. I was like, yeah, because everyone thinks Superman's boring because Superman adaptations have been so boring for so long. But the thing about Superman is it poses, like, it only works because of its character. The idea that Superman is so impossibly strong and he can do, it makes it so that, like, all of his dilemmas come to do with his role as a superhero and his moral code and his need and want to protect people. Superman objective in any situation isn't, I need to defeat this enemy. It's not like fucking Naruto where he's like, I gotta beat the enemy. That's probably a bad example, but, like, it's not like a shonen anime where he's like, the objective is to beat the enemy. Superman's objective is to protect people and make things better for people. And he's using his powers as a way to do that. But it like, there's a lot of situations where if he were to just beat someone up, it wouldn't solve the issue. It's why Lex Luthor is also the best foil for Superman, because he's not powered, which means he could be evil and better at Superman at all the ways that, like, contrast Superman's morality. And there's this great quote from Supergirl comic, which I know it's not about Superman, but it applies to Superman as well, which is from the girl that Supergirl is walking around with, where it's like people are always people don't realize how much these people do, because it's like he slows his movement so he can walk by his side. He warms his breath so he can talk to you. He weakens his strength so that he can hold your hand. It's like, for him to do normal things, he's purposely making that decision because he lives in a world of cardboard. And I'm so sick of so many what if Superman was evil stories. Like, they have their place. But we've been doing too many what if Superman were evil and generic Superman stuff. We've lost the good Superman stories. The, like, Superman, like, birthright stories. The Superman, like, these stories that are just, like, built upon what makes the character so poignant and he is Clark Kent at its core. He's great. He's great, and he's one of my favorites now. I admit, like, when I was younger, I was like, Superman's boring because he has all these superpowers. He's blah blah blah. But it's because you don't. It's what makes him so good. And I love it because he contrasts so well with Batman. And Batman's also so good for lots of other reasons. Anyway. I was really passionate about that. So that's why I wrote this song, to try and get my points across in lyrical form. Because it's really about the way that he instills hope. About his effect that he has on other people. About the way that, like, his presence makes, that sort of
thing. No dust, I lay them out with no battlefield. Moving planets on daily moves so quick with that flash appeal. They can see how this Clark Rice turn a journalist to a man.
will admit, though, I kind of struggle. My voice doesn't match this style of instrumental. I'll admit it. I've done these sort of songs before, and I know it doesn't. But I just wanted to. Oh, yeah, Superman. Oh, what's the fuck? It's called Superman Up, Up, and Away, I think? Where he, like, travels around the galaxy just to save one girl? Because that's what Superman does? He doesn't think... Like, so many people are like, this doesn't make, you know... Is it really worth it? And he's like, it's always worth it. Too small to save. There's no issue my actions cause. You can look at my golden age. Bravery to show kindness in a universe that rewards their hate. That's it. It's so easy. It's so easy to be greedy and self-serving. It's difficult to be kind because people are rewarded for being bad people. Your quality of living oftentimes might even get better by being selfish. But you are going to hurt the people around you by doing so. And Superman embodies that strive to be better. Despite, it would be so easy for Superman to be this dictator that could take over the planet. But that's what makes him Superman, is the fact that he doesn't do that. The fact he's so powerful and still decides to be good is what makes him so great. It's like, I would know. Okay, I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. Anyway, this song I really enjoyed the chorus of. I liked the whole vibe of the song. This is one of these examples, and this happens occasionally, and I will say it in my list when it does. JT's first draft of the hook I did not like, and I wish I still had it because he sent it to me on Dropbox, but he's since deleted it. I looked for it beforehand, but he had this problem where it didn't sound like a chorus. It sounded more like a verse. It didn't quite hit. But I like sent him a vocal reference to be like, this is how you should change it. And I also like, there was like a bum note. Like I changed so much about his chorus to the point where I can't even remember the specifics. Additionally, so when I got sent the instrumental by Longest Solo Ever, I got it in parts. Like, he sent me the drums, he sent me the guitar, and I did a lot of changing of the drums as well. Like a lot of the verses, I added more faster drums for that like build up, and the chorus as well initially only had the slow drums. But I made JT do this post hook thing which I wrote. So this post bit was entirely melody wise. I think he did the lyrics, but I sent him like a melody idea. This. That bit is entirely me, and I felt like it needed it, especially because otherwise I felt like the chorus is a little bit too slow. Like, I really liked what he did because it has this like heroic anthem, national anthem vibe. But yeah. To be cynical, pretend yeah, I do my classic like bridge leading into the final verse, and then yeah, the final hook with. Awesome song. I think this is let down actually a bit by my verses because I just don't think my voice hits on this beat. I think it's good.
Cause it's easy to be cynical, pretend you're preaching wisdom but stay keeping others miserable. Cause in a world of being optimistic gets you ridiculed. There's nothing more rebellious than sticking to your principles. I am not a god or something mythical.
It's difficult. On my pre-list, I had put it in A, like high A. But now listening to it again, I think it goes in S. I think it goes in S. I think it goes that like with Victor there. Because actually it is better than I remember. All right, let's move on to Evil Eye. I've got some funny things to say about this one.
Take one out, let's see who's next.
This one, firstly, I want to do another song about Dan Dan because my first Dan Dan track did well, and I felt like it would be fun to do a song about Evil Eye because it's the, a mixture of God, I forgot his name, but the guy from the second season as well as the demon, and I wanted this like big, fun, quite demonic, cool. I had all these ideas. And I know that like some people were a bit sad I didn't touch on the sensitive side of the root of the character, but I there was a comment I responded to where I really gave a good explanation for it, but I don't know if I could find it again. But I really wanted to show that like out of control nature that character gets into, like that aspect in this. Gigi's the name of the guy. Okay, cool. And I'm going to go to the hook there here because I was really, really proud of this because I didn't think I was going to pull this off.
I gotta see who's next. Hey, look at them running scared.
Let's be
Play pretend. Said, they don't rest. I'm gonna leave them dead. And we're coming for the head. 'Cause I'm gonna leave them dead. What I said, lay to rest. Leave them dead. Hey, I'm on.
Great. Dead. I was really, I know it's really simple, but it's to do with the delivery and the production and all of that. I was so happy with this. This is the first song that I remember where, sometimes someone will send me a chorus, like I just said with the JT Music one, and I'll ask them to change some things. This is the first time somebody sent me a verse that I asked them to change. And it's because... So Mix Williams, firstly, I wanted to do this thing where we go back and forth on a rhyme scheme, and he didn't do it, despite me asking. I was like, it would be nice if you did that. Secondly, he wrote the line, like the London Eye, you're running out of time. And I was like, sorry, when you said that, did you mean Big Ben? And get the two confused? And he was like, oh, fuck. And then also additionally, you'll notice that Mix puts on a British accent here. I think he misunderstood, or he got too excited about the fact that this was kind of a like a grime track. Like instrumentally, I did like this grime beat, and he was like, oh, this is a grime track. I'm going to do all the British references I can. I'm going to put on my best British accent because I'm a big fan of Arsenal football team and I wish I was English. And that was the angle he completely went with. I don't even really think he references much of the actual show besides generically being like, I'm an evil spirit. He just really wanted to be British. And he's a great voice and he's got a great flow and he does a great job with it. But my gosh, he rewrote a bunch of this on call with, he was like, changing these lyrics on the fly. But obviously,
Springs flow like uncensored gas, mate. No mistakes and no bad days. Top spins kicking shots like Mbappe. Killer look with no catchphrase. Slash him up, now he backspace.
Yeah, so those were new lyrics he had to write because he had something completely different there that didn't work. It wasn't just that it didn't rhyme. It was also kind of just a jilted flow that was bad. And so this like entire bit, I made him change. But his like second verse was great, and I played off.
In the message, they're getting the message,
like his like flow here, right?
Baby, that shit is impressive, they're getting the message, stacking the mails like it's Tetris, Go just find off a direction, send it round to your throat like a necklace, Don't play with a certain force.
Great, fun. What a fun song. I don't think the hook before the dead bit is very good though. Like it's fun. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's a really solid track and it's great, but I don't think it has that like special thing to take it to the next level. So I think this is a high A. It's like it's in that same category as Sakamoto and Igris and such. And I don't think my lyrics are particularly that great, ultimately, but it's fun. It's a fun track. Okay, moving on. Why is this so low quality? Crank it up. There we go. This song is awesome. I mean, this is a classic Rustage banger. I mean, I wanted it to be like Over For You, Rengoku. I do think this song is better than Over You, Rengoku, just because the mix is so much better. Like, if you You might think that Over For You is better when you go back and listen to it, and maybe the melody, the hook is like iconic now, but like the mix is a bit dodgy. Well, the mix here is a lot better. However, I will say this. There are so many people in nerdcore now who are getting so much better at mixing, and admittedly far better than I am. Mixing has never been my strong suit, and it's because it's not something I'm particularly passionate about. It's fun to produce instrumentals, it's fun to push myself with writing lyrics and such, and doing all the, like, essentially the musical aspect. But when it comes to mixing, I'm just not putting in that same level of effort that people are doing with like this hardware stuff and all these different plugins, and because I hate it. I don't enjoy it. It's not a thing I enjoy. Jonald is someone who is very good at mixing now, like particularly, and when I finished this song, he did express his disappointment in my mix of his chorus vocals. And next time I have him on a song, if he will work with me again, I will just let him handle the mixing of his chorus vocals and just be like, whatever, you know better than me. So I do feel really bad about that. I'm sorry, Jonald. I'm sorry I fucked your shit up. I still think it sounds really good, personally. And I think if obviously, because that's, otherwise I would have never put it out. And obviously everyone who's listened to it really enjoys it, but he's obviously far more experienced with mixing now than I am. And maybe from his point of view, it suffers because of that. But for me, I think this song is incredible. I think he does obviously such a good job.
Watch the cycle repeat. Putting gaps in and no major doctors. I'll even wiping it clean. We ain't different pillars. I made an offer, but they ain't fighting like me. Gonna bring the weapons and they bet. I'm saying need a no plate. Oh nice. We about to get into the best part. The best part. Nobody gonna break my stride. Looking for the bodies with the X marks. Like X marks and leaving them grace to find. Never gonna listen with the dead ass. Dead ass be wide. I can waste my time. Compass pointed. I stay no face. Destruction. Death in my way. Forcing in big rounds like planets distance.
Bit is so good. That bit is so good, right? Like. Bare arms, like lots of weapons. It's British slang. Bare arms, lots of weapons. But he's also fighting just with his hands, and they also it's fucking good. Shit.
I don't come to battle like wage war. Advertise me on main course. Moving different on tracks. That's what I've been fighting on trains for.
And then obviously his verse is incredible. And Haruka does an incredible job of the fucking video again. And then Key in the final chorus like really accentuates it. So good. So good. And the movie was fun. It was definitely better than like... So I'm sort of an infamous Demon Slayer hater. I know, I'm not a hater. I like Demon Slayer, the anime, for what it is. I didn't like the manga at all as I was reading it. Because I always read the manga for things. Because I prefer reading than watching anime. Like, for my brain, I like that more. And the manga doesn't have the cool animation of the fight scenes, so you're really just reading the story and the characters, and it's not all that great. At least, especially in that first bit. Like, there are bits I enjoy, but it's like, it's whatever, right? It's no One Piece. But obviously, the anime's great, because the animation just takes it to that next level. And the movie was fun, but it did also feel like they are making these movies because it makes them more money when something's a theatrical release, and now that they're like canon because but it wasn't really a movie. It was 3 episodes of Demon Slayer was what it was, and it was like, that's great, and I thought the story of Akaza was great. Like you really drill down on it, and it's great. It's all good. But you kind of. This is not my place to Demon Slayer, and I'm not as deep into the Demon Slayer hole to be able to give like a fair faith criticism of it, but you kind of do get sick of every single battle being like, we're having a fight, it's going really badly. Oh, let's do a flashback of the demon, and then we win the fight. And irregardless of how good that flashback was in Kaz's case, you do feel that way a little bit. And I'm not interested in the overall plot of Demon Slayer, and that's just a me thing. I'm not interested in seeing Tanjiro beat all of these demons in quite a thing. It's fine. I said it was. I think I said it was a 6? I rated it, which is good. It's above average. Not the movie. I mean, like Demon Slayer as a whole. Yeah, the movie's great. It was fun. It's just really dramatic. If you love Demon Slayer, you'll love the movie because it's got dramatic music. It's got dramatic animation. It's got quite a dramatic story. It's just very dramatic, and that's great if that's what you want. And I think a lot of like younger now I feel like Unk. Because I'm saying a lot of younger people, that's all they want out of anime. And I think there is a subset of anime fans who are like, they get into anime because they want to watch cool fights and big explosive moments. And they will enjoy Demon Slayer and Solo Leveling and aspects of Dragon Ball Z because of that. Those are the parts of Dragon Ball Z that they like. Whilst personally for me, my favorite animes tend to be like Odd Taxi or reading the One Piece manga or Haikyuu or Frieren or stuff where it is more about the characters and the story and things like that and the mystery and I'm less interested in cool fight scenes, maybe as much as I might have been when I was younger. So yeah, don't know why I decided to talk about that. It was a good movie though. It was decent. And the song I made about it I really liked because I felt like I got across the character really well. In the bridge, I felt like my verses were strong. It was great. Lost Pause has just come in to say One Piece anime fights are insane now, so that's a bonus. I don't like them. That's my controversial opinion. I don't care for the new One Piece fights because I just think they're overbloating. They're like bloating, like moments. It's still padding. It's still filler and it's still padding. It's better than what they were doing before. Where it's like they padded the anime by just having like people look at each other for ages. But what they're doing in One Piece is they just make like a single hit take ages. And they add lots of effects and animation to it so it's super cool and all of that. But it's like, it's not like extra, I don't know. It's whatever. I'm just saying that I just want a faithful adaptation of the manga is what I want. I want One Piece to play to its strengths. When Luffy takes fucking 20 seconds to punch someone where in the manga it took him a second, it makes him look weaker and it sort of ruins the story aspect of the whatever. There's a bunch of stuff. This is not a fully formed opinion that I have that I'm ready to put out in the world yet. So do not judge me on this. But I just want them to adapt the manga properly. I don't want them to just do all these big fucking superhero animation, a million effect things to One Piece as well. Like that. Anyway. Akaza's S tier. It's up there. There you go. Uma Musume! Let's go!
I've been riding for my horse girls. Watch me gallop back on Canton. Riding for my horse girls. Wait, I'm running, do it fast. Riding for my horse girls. I'm a different kind of stand. Not a canter or a trot. Never gonna stop when I'm riding for my. What? They ain't ready for my season. They go listen to no losers because the champions are meeting. Leave them silent like Suzuka.
This one's S tier. Next. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a great song. It's a banger song. It's the best kind of song in this style that I did this year. It's awesome. It's fun. Anora kills it. I love my verses. I think the hook's great. I just think it's a lot of fun. I just think it's good. What else do you want?
Never gonna stop when I'm riding for my. What?
And we do this cool back and forth thing at the end. It's really cool.
Never coming last, get it done and run it fast. Running laps, let it up, we run it back.
It's cool. S tier. Nightwing. Okay, so I don't know what else to say about it. It's a great song about Uma Musume, and I'm really happy to do a song about Uma Musume. Because it's like kind of different than I think my audience was expecting. Anyway, Nightwing. So this is definitely one of those songs that I made because it was something I was quite passionate about. So I got into comics sort of mid last year because of Superman. I've read a whole bunch now. And I read Tom Taylor's Nightwing run, as well as Dan Waters after that. And I just really, it was like, I loved it so much. And it had its flaws, it had its moments where Nightwing had to go off and do something else because they're doing like a collab tie-in thing. That's a bit confusing if you're just reading the one thing. And there were moments where obviously things had to happen for certain grander story regions. But the Nightwing itself story with Heartless and Blockbuster, and then moving on to the, all the stuff after that as well, I just loved so much. It's like one of those things where it's like an objective 8 out of 10, but a personal 10 out of 10. And I felt like, I was like, people like Nightwing, right? I hope he's popular enough that I can make a song about him and it's not a complete waste of my time. So, and I made the song, and Kaze, he didn't know much about Nightwing, but I gave him the synopsis of the vibe of song I wanted, and he did a great job with the chorus. I think this song's great. This is a good example of where Eerie did a really good job with the backing vocals for this one, which I want to point out because I do feel bad that I pointed out the one in Grimjow, where I think she does a really good job here.
Just one step and I'm diving.
I think it's great. I do think it suffers a little bit from... It's like my Batman track, where I felt like suffered a bit...
Yesterday, Yacht and Wally put in twice the work than what Bruce Wayne did. So don't try my patience. Acrobat, I'm a flying grace and height evasion fast every fight I'm taking.
I think maybe it's an instrumental thing where it feels a little bit too low-key.
They be looking in the dark when there's night away.
It does feel like it's missing a thing, right? That like some of the other... And I like...
Bite wing so Petco, jump on the scene like where did the men go? They want to sign on the line, but I cut through a con like it's Deathstroke. Seize the initiative, leading the team. I got beats on my fingers to speak at my lineage, teaching me week after week after week after week to be disciplined. I'm up to bat and they're keeping their distances, beat after beat like I'm reading a limerick, weaving and winging it. They talking plots but they speaking in gibberish. Make a boy wonder who even be listening. Running with demons and princesses, start off the.
I think I think my verses are a little bit weaker in this one. Yeah, like I don't know. I think I would go with a high A for this one. I think it's in that same category as these songs here. All right, let's move on. I got a lot to say about Reze. This is another song where I created the hook first, and I was so proud of like the hook section and production, the instrumental of it. But then my issue came when I had to add rap verses to it, and I actually think that Reze, this song, might have been better if it just didn't have my verses. I think the worst part of this song are my verses, like 100%. Like especially my first verse. I don't think I should have done maybe the structure should have been different. Like maybe I should have started with the verse into the chorus. Started with the chorus into the drop, then did a verse in the style of the second verse, then did a chorus, then did a verse, and then did the drop again. Like maybe I should have structured it differently. But this drop I was so proud of because I wanted to capture two things. I wanted that explosive nature, but I didn't want to go like, but she's not fucking Bakugo. It's not like, it's not a fucking boom boom in your face explosion. It's like there's a somber edge to the movie and the story, and I guess Chainsaw Man in general that I wanted to get across. And I was thinking like more like a melodic kind of hyper pop drop instead. And I was really proud of this. And Key does an incredible job on the chorus. Key does amazing. I'd love to work with Key again. And I might do in 2026. But this is so good. Like, you fucking kidding me? That's so good. And then especially because then I had originally Key wanted to was doing vocals over this which I didn't want particularly, and she sent that as a thing. I was like, no, I think you should just do vocals before and just leave the instrumental to speak here. But I would be nice if you did this thing where you kind of do one high note and then I like sidechain it, and so in this. So when it does this bit. That's awesome. I love it. The hook and the drop is great. My verses are. I don't think my verses are very good, especially at the start here. I think
up in the dark, flashing scenes in the aperture when I'm pining after your.
I think it's fine, but I just think it like betrays how cool the song is. Like I just
Let you take me under, I'm a blast warning, but you made the bunker like feeling every rumble, heartbeat like thunder. Violence can't feed the hunger. Cut off my wires, change up my function.
And I really struggled with what I was gonna do because I had written basically instrumentally. I had made a drop and I had made a chorus section which was mostly like chords and things and melodies that you couldn't like rap over really. And I was like, what the fuck instrumentally am I gonna do for the verses? Because I didn't want to pull anything for the drop because I needed to make that stand out, and I couldn't pull anything for the chorus because it didn't work for a verse. So I just did this like weird bass thing and then the drums. I don't think the instrumental for the verses are great, and I think that's the problem with the song. The second verse is definitely better than the first, and I like my lyrics as well. And then also, I got people who are like, this doesn't suit Reze. This fucking song suits Reze so bad. This song is perfect for Reze. Like, irregardless if you don't like the song, it's the perfect Reze song. And I will fight anybody on that because it gets both aspects of her character in the instrumental verses and chorus. So, like, what else do you want? Like, you could do whatever you want with a Reze song. You can make it like, I'm so cool, but you could do a slow, sad song. But I get all of it in one song. So you can say you don't like the song, but I've seen some people who comment or say or whatever saying, it doesn't suit Reze. You're just wrong. And you could be as subjective as you like with everything, and obviously this is just a joke, but like, objectively you're wrong if you said that doesn't suit Reze. That's the only thing, not the only thing, that's the main thing this song has going for it, is that it suits Reze. And that's what I was doing with the instrumental and everything. And to be honest, because it suits Reze so much, that's why the verses don't work. Because I think if it was just, I genuinely think if I just had produced a song for Key, and she did a verses and a chorus and they had the same drop, it would actually have been a better song. Like, if it was just a Key the Weave song that I produced, it would have been a better song. It's my verses are the ones that ruin it. Anyway, I'm going to put it in A tier. Because it has that, it's an A tier song. Because it would be S tier if it wasn't for my verses. Okay. Right. Vox. I probably did this song too early. I'll say that. I was so anxious about missing the Has Been Season 2 thing that, like, I really wanted to get a song out for it. I was like, oh, Vox is going to be a big thing. I got this out, like, only 2 episodes had been out when I made this song. Like, or like 4. It's like it. I put it out I should have just waited for the season to end. But I think similarly to Arcane, like season 2 of Has Been just didn't have the same wave behind it as season 1 of Has Been. Same with Arcane season 2, Arcane season 1, and I think Oricady does a great job here. I really like my verse here. But maybe I miss a little bit because I didn't have the later Vox to go off. But I really wanted to have this as a commentary on, and a part of what like Vox is parodying here is this aspect of like TV personalities with parasocial audiences that they abuse for their own monetary and personal gain. The idea that like as long as you're famous, it doesn't matter if you're a bad person. I wanted to have I have lines about that in where it's like, you know, it's okay to do fucked up shit on the internet because you will be rewarded for it. You can't cancel somebody who refuses to be cancelled because it will just put more eyes on them if they build a platform off that. It's why so many people have turned to doing like essentially rage bait content or doing purposely things that they know are bad because it's what makes them money, right? the best that you could do in that situation is not draw any attention to them and not talk about them. Because every time you say, look at this awful thing this person has done, it's just a situation where you're giving into exactly what they want. And I wanted and I felt like Vox was supposed to be a commentary on that, so I made my song a sort of commentary on that. But there are like people out there who will do things where they will do a controversial thing that they know is controversial, and then have already planned how they're going to deal with the fallout from that to optimize their viewership. And it's why, like, whenever anybody asks me now, or sometimes at stream where people will be like, blah, 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 this guy, blah, 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 that guy, I'll just be like, I don't want to talk about it because you're being played. Anyway, it's just such a... People will always be like, how is this person famous? It's because you're talking about them. It's because... And now there's so many people out there who live these luxurious lives and mansions with money and whatever and etc. All because they were a terrible person. Anyway. That's what I wanted to like capture in the song. And I think I did.
Every dude cancel call a YouTube, but get a choose channels like for the weight of the names I drop, they trademarked and I made them hot. Till I'm into nail, but I praise their God. My God, they crave what I make them want. You never spending on the rate I'm on. They got my words every page and font. What is a king but a CEO?
Sudden how we turning up, come like dysfunction up. Last year you call me down, now we're out the mud. Addicted to the main stage, like wow. I need another taste, like wow. I'll show you how to turn it up.
I really like the drop of this as well. And this is a good song. It's a good song, I think. I think it just, I think it falls in the same category as it doesn't quite reach the heights that some of my S-tier songs are, and I don't want to, And I should have waited. I'll put it up there. It's up there. It's that same kind of vibe. There's a lot of songs in that area where I feel like they don't quite reach that heights, but it's a really good song. Anyway, I just ended up ranting about something irrelevant. We're getting to the end. It's been an hour 42 minutes. This might be a record if I get this under 2 hours. Blue Lock. Big request for me. Everyone wanted me to do Blue Lock. I didn't do it when it came out. And I think it was mostly because a bunch of people did. And none of their songs did really well. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And my brother, admittedly, was quite anti-Blue Lock because he just didn't like it. He was a big fan of Aoashi and Captain Tsubasa and other traditional football anime and manga where it's actually more about playing football. Blue Lock is not about football. It's a death game manga, like the genre death game. I know they don't die, but it's they go home, and it's kind of the same thing in terms of how much they can never play football again. So it's like watching like Squid Game, but instead of all the challenges are football related, if that makes sense. So it's not even a shonen where they play soccer. It's not even a shonen where they play soccer, because that would be implying that they're actually playing regular football matches, and it's like a thing where they're trying to be the best. The structure of the show is it's a death game. It's the same, follows all the same rules of like you've got these challenges and so people get eliminated, and it's this next bit and so people get eliminated and blah 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 blah, and it's a blah 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 blah. It's that, and once you realize that, it's a lot more fun to watch and read. And I was actually enjoying it. It does. I'm like around volume like 17, 18. I'm starting to be like, I don't know in terms of a concentrated span how much I can watch a bunch of people play football. So kind of dragged a little bit for me, but I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it more than I thought, especially because my brother saying, "Oh shit," I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. And I wanted to do this fun, upbeat kind of. I kind of wanted it to be like a World Cup song. This went through a lot of iterations. Originally, I wanted to do like a, wave your flag sort of World Cup song where it's like, whoa, like the big thing. Then I didn't think that actually worked. I couldn't really pull it off instrumentally. And then I wanted to go for this kind of like funky, upbeat, like having the bum bum ba da ba 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 But then everybody, when it came out, was like, wow, it's interesting you went for this chill vibe. And it's such a dissonance that I was having while I was making it. Was I just didn't think this was like a chill vibe beat. I thought this was like an upbeat fun. And maybe it was because every time when I was making the song, I had the volume really high up. Listen to this on higher volume, it has more of an upbeat vibe to it. But I thought like it was upbeat. It's like, yeah, I had the dong, dong, dong. Like I thought it was like fun and upbeat. But actually, now that people have pointed it out, it's like, oh yeah, I guess it is kind of like chiller. Like, it's more like, this is more cool vibes than it is like upbeat fun vibes.
You living and I'm running ragged, the puzzle snapping, I'm understanding kicks like muzzle flashing, I lighted up and then muscles passes, leaving stuck in traffic, a stunning passing, the structure damage like we done in practice, I'm loading shells when I'm double dashing. One look and I'm on side, one touch to the net to our bomb side.
I do not sing in songs, as you know. I don't know the last time. I guess Eating Colors would have been the last time I sung in a song. Last year, but in one of my like anime raps, when was the last time the chorus was me singing? I don't think ever really. Like really, have I really ever sung on like an anime track before? But I wanted to give it a shot. I also wanted a song that I could perform. I was performing live around the time this song came out, and I realized I don't have a lot of songs that are just me. So I wanted a Mojito. Mojito's the last one. There you go. Mojito's the last one. But and then before that it would have been One of a Kind, but it's quite rare. But I wanted a song that I would be able to perform live, because I don't actually have a lot of those songs, because a lot of things have choruses, and if I don't have the guy who does the chorus there live with me, it's kind of difficult to do those live. And that was kind of also the idea behind the song, is it would be a fun upbeat song to kind of do live. Initially, I didn't actually sing the backing vocals for this bit, but I sent my thing to Maguire to be like, does this sound okay? And Maguire was like, yeah, this sounds good. I just wanted, a seal of approval of an actual singer before I embarrass myself for putting it out. But he suggested that I do the singing vocals on this pre-chorus as well. Yeah, I like the little synth I have in the background that goes wow 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 wow.
See them rising as I shoot undivided target sight, and I can line it up and rain on my pace, I can shoot my shot. Shoot. It's playing the game in a who's on top. Shoot.
Yeah, and it's just a me song. This song's just me, gang. And it's fun. It's a fun song. But, like, that's sort of it. What else am I going to say about it? I don't think there's anything super special. I think it's here. I think it's in that lower of A tier. There you go. But, it proved that it's I sometimes, but I could only sing in that style. I could only do kind of like the chiller things, or like the Owl City style. I couldn't do I can't actually sing, so I can't do anything more than that. But there you go. I got to reference a bunch of fucking football stuff, and that was fun. Big up England. Let's move on to the second best cipher of all time. It's still, here's the thing about the Dungeons & Dragons rap cipher. If the history rap cipher didn't exist, this would be the best cipher of all time, because this is incredible. I think this cipher only has one major flaw, and it's not my fault, and it's nothing I could change, and a lot of people have brought this up, and I'm so sorry. Yes, the text is unreadable. Blame the video editors. Blame the video editors, I'm so sorry. I'll work on getting captions out of this. But yes, the text is unreadable. But not for all of it, to be fair. For most of it, it is readable. For most of it, it's fine. This is readable. It's just this is all readable. It really is my verse, and then the Man Be His Last verse has a section. So you're about a minute into it, and it's I can't read any of this. But most of it is fine. The other thing is the font they used had the O's and the D's mixed up for some reason, which makes some of that's a D. That's not an O. But it switched them up for some reason. So, anyway, Dungeons & Dragons. I love Dungeons & Dragons. If you guys don't know, if you're on my Twitch, you probably do know. But if you're watching this, it's on my second channel. So, guys, if you're on my second channel right now watching this video and you've gotten this far, look at the rest of the videos on my second channel. I run D&D every fucking week, and I have been doing this since 2020. I've had some people be like, oh, You know, he doesn't focus on his music as much anymore because he's more focused on his D&D, which is just so not true because I've been doing D&D like publicly as a thing for as long as I've been doing music. 2020 I started doing D&D. I didn't like a lot of your favorite songs came out in 2021, 2022, etc. I was running 2 D&D campaigns at that time. So I've been doing this. I've done 200 episodes of Dungeons & Dragons. I am currently running a One Piece themed one. If you're a One Piece fan, there's so much of that out there. But I've just started a space themed D&D campaign with Schwabity and Conquest, if you're a fan of them, on my songs. Tekking, if you're a fan of his stuff. And Josh Strife Higgs, if you're a fan of his. And we run that every other week. And that's been a lot of fun so far. So check that out. I say it's a good jumping on point because it's only like 4 episodes in. So you could really just get on board with that quite quickly. And then you could be watching it live with everybody else. Anyway, I love D&D, always loved D&D. It's been a big part of my life, just general. I've been personally playing D&D, running D&D since 2015, so like over 10 years. And this is an idea I've always had, and I finally sort of, I guess, had the confidence to do it properly. And here it is, the D&D class cipher. All of like the mainline classes that are in the official player's handbook. I know some people kept bringing up, you know, like Illrigger and Bloodhunter and all. That's like, no, like this is these are the core classes, right? We all understand the core 13. You know, Artificer included. And this, again, mixed by me, but produced by Freshie, because he can just do Cypher beats. And I don't know if in the future I can do a Cypher beat without it being Freshie, because he just understands it so well. He does an incredible job. And obviously, you know, there's a collaborative aspect of it. I'm expressing what I want, and I'm making him make changes and stuff, but he could just do it. He could just do it so perfectly. And I think my verse in this is really good too. I like reference so much good shit in here. Like what? It's from the start. You know what? I'm just gonna do this one.
See it in my spells and my magic.
See my spells and magic. Only got the crown if it's madness. Crown of madness. It's a wizard spell. As in, they've only got the crown. Not I've only got the crown. Like they are it's, you know. Yeah, it's like a diss. You ain't a king. You only have a crown if it's the crown of madness that I put on you. Type bar.
Big dice, yeah, we doing big damage.
Yep, lots of dice, lots of damage. I spit ice, you know, because there's cone of cold and all of these different cold ice spells and cold flow. But then they only spit cantrips. It completes the outer rhyme. Cantrips are obviously a not leveled spell, so they're traditionally quite weak.
Yes, devastation, they set a flame, call it evocation.
Yeah, devastation, they set a flame, call it evocation. I have the air to Asian rhyme scheme going out. Evocation is the school of wizards magic that specializes in big damage. Every spell I'm making intelligent mods, that's education, because he cast all of his magic through using his intelligence modifier, which he's the only one to do because most of them use charisma or wisdom, and that's because he's well educated, which is contrasted to the sorcerer who just gets his magic normally. I'm sending storms, like, because he's literally controlling weather with his magic, sending lightning bolts from the sky, typhoons. Check the weather stations, which is a really good rhyme for the Etation. Evocation's weather station, that's fire. Man needs restoration because I killed him. They're begging me to stop till I end duration, because you can end duration on concentration spells. Bang. Concentration wouldn't have rhymed in the thing because it's etation. Concentration is an otation, so it wouldn't have rhymed in the rhyme scheme. But I'm like Magic Missile, I'm never missing a target. A lot of people were upset that I didn't reference Fireball in 86, and that's because I have referenced Fireball in like 5 different songs. I've referenced rolling that, you know, I just didn't want to just repeat myself. Like, I've done the Fireball thing so many times. So, wanted to keep it unique. Always roll with advantage. Because I'm always putting them in situations where I'm rolling with advantage or giving myself spells that make me roll with advantage. Power words I'm spitting. Because I'm, you know, my words are powerful rapping, but also the power words like power word kill, power word die. And then they die. Power word kill, they'd be dearly departed. Again, the rhyme schemes. Blasted, sun them so I light him in the darkness. It's a play on when rappers are like saying I sun them like I'm their father, but also sun them like sunbeam. I'm lighting up the room with a sunbeam. Sun them, literally the sun.
time stop. They be feeling chicks into the minds.
Time stop. And then the beat stops. It's a spell. They be failing checks until their mind's gone. It's, they're failing their wisdom checks so that they lose their, I'm like paralyzing them or I'm like mind breaking them as the wizard, like Yu-Gi-Oh!
See them pointing fingers, my fingers turn the lights off.
So that's a reference to Finger of Death, which is another spell. So they're pointing fingers, but when I point my finger, it literally kills them because it's the Finger of Death.
My God, transmutating gold until the price drops.
Transmutating gold. Transmutation is another wizard school, changing of objects and stuff. But I'm saying I do it so much that I crash economies.
Milestones I'm hitting, you're not on the...
Milestones I'm hitting, you're not on the level I'm on, because milestone leveling is a form of leveling in Dungeons and Dragons. And so, but it's also saying I'm hitting milestones because I'm on different, I'm achieving all my goals. Therefore, you're not on the level I'm on because I'm level 20 and you're a fucking peasant, but also you're not on the level I'm on because I'm achieving all my milestones and you've done nothing with your life. Bang! And then everyone else does an incredible job. Everyone's really, really good here. You could kind of tell when somebody plays D&D when somebody doesn't, depending on if they like reference certain things. Except for Shaudo, because Shaudo always does a lot of research, so you could never tell with him. He references a lot of actual D&D stuff. But it's great, and it ends with Artifice with the Stupendium, and it's a great cipher. It's great. So it also goes in S. I shouldn't have done all of that explaining about my verse. I apologize for that. But then we got one final song. One final song. This song is so good. I made a mistake though of not releasing this, like shifting my schedule around. Like this coming out on Christmas, I thought would be really fun. But I realized that people don't listen to Christmas music after Christmas. So people only listen to it for a day. And I saw that in my analytics. Peek behind the curtain. When this song dropped, it was a 2 out of 10, which is really good because obviously the cipher was a 1 out of 10 because ciphers tend to do better. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But over the course of the week, it sort of dropped and dropped and dropped. And not because it's a bad song, but because who the fuck's listening to Christmas music on New Year's? I should have released this earlier in December. That's on me. However, I'm so happy to do this. So I've been doing a lot of mythological figure raps, like Zeus and Anubis and History Cipher. And Santa Claus is just like, to me, that's another mythical figure I can make a rap about. This isn't a Christmas song. This is a Santa Claus rap. And, I just made my favorite kind of music with this. It's an upbeat pop rap song. And Maguire kills it, obviously, on the hook. And I'll talk about that in a second. But the one thing that made this song work was halfway through writing the second verse, I changed the drums in the verse. I wonder if I have, like, a example of the old instrumental that I could show you. But initially, the drums in the verse was, like, I guess, like, trap drums. Because that was kind of the BPM it was at. So Santa Claus no rapping. This might have it with the original drums. See, it had this boom, k, boom, 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 k, like a kind of like trap drums or whatever. And I was struggling writing for this, I admit. But once I changed the drums up, I completely. Now, if you listen to the new drums.
On that ego, man, like crackers, I gon' make a pop. My feet be cold, they're grateful for my socks. They chimney watching, waiting for my job.
It's way more. It's like boom, 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 boom. It has I just made them like pop drums. I like threw out all my drum samples. I got in like 80s pop drums. I made them beat way faster and like a more, and it just made the song work so much better. And I feel like that works so much better I don't think I rap particularly well over traditional rappy beats and such. I feel like I work a lot better on these pop songs, on these upbeat songs and stuff like that. And this works so much better. And I think my verses are really fun. I get lots of good Santa Claus references, but have good rhyme schemes and flows throughout it. I really love that I do the not a creature stirring in the house, not even a mouse, and have it work exactly syllabically on beat, and it's word for word the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Like it's great.
Not a creature stirring in the house, not even a mouse. I'll be leaving us under the Christmas tree.
Great. And then, yeah, Maguire does his incredible stuff in the chorus. I made him change. So, he did have to change something. Originally, it was something like, they ain't gonna stop for me. They ain't gonna stop for me, or whatever his chorus, right? And I was like, your chorus is great, but it's not very Christmassy. Like, it does have the naughty or nice bit, which is awesome. But I was like, what do you think the song's going to be called? Because I can't call it Stop For Me. And I can't call it Fly, because I have a song called Fly already. My Haikyuu rap's called Fly, which is why it's not called Fly. So, it needs to have a Christmassy title. And so then he changes it to Jingle Bells Gone Rock For Me. But then I had the problem of, well, I can't call it Jingle Bells, that's already a song. And I can't call it Rock For Me, because that's not Christmassy. So I have to call it Jingle Bells Rock For Me, which I admit is quite a clunky title, and it's really long. But it was the best case I had, so that's what it ended up being called. Jingle Bells Gone Rock For Me is even longer. At least Jingle Bells Rock For Me is not too long. And Jingle Bells Rock For Me sounds better than Jingle Bells Gone Rock For Me. But yeah. And hopefully people enjoyed that. And yeah, this song's incredible. I mean, the verses are great. The chorus is great. We have Anora and Key at the end doing great vocals. I was really proud. I was proud of this song. This song's awesome. S-tier song. S-tier song, right up there. It's probably one of my favorites. I think actually it's these 4 solo songs. So here we go. This is the finished list. I don't know if I'm going to do any jingling around, but I would say Akaza, Santa Claus, Suyo, and Beru are probably my best songs of the year. In terms of singular songs. Then you got the Cypher. And then these songs afterwards are also really, really good songs. Uma Musume, Victor, Tenor, Superman. But I feel, I think this list is good. I think it's a good list. I take it obviously a small break. There's no songs that come out in January, but hopefully there'll be more songs coming in the future. I am working on a Getchi Okuda track because I just have a really good idea for it. We'll see if it does well. I need to start thinking of some fun things to do. I have a song I'm working on that is like an original song, and that's gonna be fun. It might be a bit controversial song. It shouldn't be a controversial song, but I want to title it a certain way, but the title would include a swear word, and I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube. Can I swear in the title? We'll see. But we'll see what 2026. You could swear. Okay, I'll do it. Do it, Obols. Now they get you for that. Okay, we'll see. Abbreviate it. Oh, but that doesn't have the same impact if it was just called it was just F instead of fuck. I want it to be fuck. I just want to have fuck in my title. I'll do fuck with the star for the U. Okay. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway. This has been... Thank you guys so much for watching. 2 hours, exactly. So this is the average length of Rusted D&D session. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you all for watching this, ranking all my songs of 2025. Thank you for listening to all my songs of 2025. 2026 is going to have a lot of great songs as well, and hopefully way more in the S tier. I'm going to try my best, but I will still be experimenting. I want to, see what works, see what doesn't, try and push the limits, because every song of mine that might not be that good because I've done something different or weird, I learn from that, and then I can reincorporate that to make something better in the future in a similar thing. So, for example, there might be a song like Reze in the future where I have a really cool drop and chorus, but the verses are way better and they work way better, so the complete song is this masterpiece of a track. So, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching this, and thank you guys. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you. At the end of the day, these are funny little songs about things that I enjoy, and the fact that you also enjoy them means the world to me. Check. I never know how to end these. Goodbye. Also watch my D&Ds as well. Goodbye.